This is iPhone 15, and in today's real day in life review, we're going to be trying out the new cameras, iOS 17 features, and comparing it to the iPhone 15 Pro to see what features you lose for that $200 price difference. The back looks really nice. The finishes here is so nice. I love this color choice, and there's a little bit more of a curvature on the back now, so it just fits more comfortably in the hand. It feels more refined. And in the box this year, you now have the USB Type-C cable because of the EU regulation that forced Apple to switch to USB Type-C on their phones. So I'm really excited about that. It's the same as the 15 Pro. They actually feel very similar in the hands in terms of the back build. The iPhone 15 feels like it melts a little bit more into my hands than even the 15 Pro does. And the 15 Pro is also slightly heavier, but they're more similar this year because the 15 Pro has the titanium rails. I'm gonna start setting up the phone, get an iced coffee, and then we're gonna be off with our day. The phone is finally set up. It is just pouring out. So we're gonna call a Lyft right now to go to one of the coolest spots in the city to try out all the camera stuff. Wow, it's a rainy day in New York. Thank you so much. It's also 1:43 p.m. It took a really long time to get the Lyft because of the weather situation, and the battery life is at 65% currently. The phone also feels a little bit warm. The 15 Pro is having a lot of overheating issues by some users because of the new titanium. I have not experienced that yet on the regular 15, so we'll keep posted on that throughout the day as we also track the battery life. The display this year is still only 60 Hertz, so the 15 Pro has a ProMotion display, which is 120 Hertz. And honestly, in 2023, it feels like not the best move to have a 60 Hertz display on a premium flagship. Even though this is a $200 price difference, it still would be nice to have. iPhone 15 feels quick for sure, but it would be really nice to have a higher refresh rate here. This feels like a slip and slide nightmare, to be honest. And the experience begins. This is front-facing video on the iPhone 15. Crazy bonkers day here, but hopefully this will be cool for the video. So this is normal iPhone 15 footage in all of the lighting environments. And now this is a 4K version of the same footage. So that was 1080p, but the iPhone 15 also shoots 4K. And I think 4K actually makes a pretty big difference. Like, the quality is noticeable. And the video quality looks really good for me, but you gotta let me know what you think about that and the sound quality. Also, it is 2:26 p.m. and the phone is at 57%. So this is 0.5 test. This is 1x. This is actually a great video test going on because we have all the lighting. Now this is a lot of light. Yeah, this is the way up. Now the difference between the 15 and the 15 Pro is that the 15 Pro has the ability on the main sensor to have 28mm, 35mm, and 24mm all in the same 1x area. Whereas on the regular 15, you only just have the 1x, it doesn't change. So you have 0.5, 1x, and 2x. We're gonna take a portrait mode shot here right now to see what it does with the lighting. Now we're getting into a brighter lighting environment. There is literally zero visibility. I have never seen anything like this. So normally you would be able to see all of New York here, but because we're in a weather advisory, there's just zero visibility. It looks cool though. This is officially one of the coolest places that I've ever been in New York, and it's a perfect test of all the different lenses on this phone and video mode, because the dynamic range is really what comes alive here. When I take a photo on the 15 Pro versus 15, let's see if we actually see a quality difference. Also 2:48 p.m. and the battery life is currently at 47%. We're gonna go get some lunch and try out the gaming mode on here. 3:09 p.m. The phone is at 36%. So that was the first camera test. A lot of good things there. Night mode has also been improved, so when it gets dark out, we can test that. And the software is iOS 17, so name drop, the contact info feature, all of that was on the Pro is also on the regular 15. The action mode this year has also been improved a lot. And so right now I have it on and I'm not really doing anything to make sure that my hand is stable. I'm just kind of walking normally. And on the display, if you look at it, it looks like a little bit shaky. But then when you play it back and replay, action mode is so good now that it really does a great job stabilizing it. It's actually pretty unbelievable. This is on the 1x zoom as well. So walking in front, just like a normal walking shot. And right here we're getting a message that says more light is required, because action mode works by cropping in a little bit on the picture to then use that extra space to stabilize the image. So if you don't have enough light, then it struggles with the crop in. But in decent lighting environments, it's pretty phenomenal. Something really cool is happening here. So with the addition of USB Type-C on the iPhone 15, it can actually now kind of act as a battery bank for other devices. So you plug in the USB-C cable, and then right now I'm using it to charge up the 15 Pro. But you can also use it to charge up headphones or a microphone or anything else that would take power. And so what's interesting is that when you have two iPhones or two USB-C enabled devices, it will default to using whichever one has more power as the power bank. So right now, the regular 15 has more power than the 15 Pro, so it's charging it, which I think is an amazing feature and one of the many things that USB Type-C enables. And I also actually have the new AirPods Pro, because the AirPods last generation would have a Lightning port at the bottom, but the new Pros have a USB Type-C port. So technically, if you get all the latest Apple stuff, then you can have one port for all of them, which I think is really nice. If you don't have that and you have a Lightning AirPods Pro, now you still need two cables. In terms of how much battery it takes away, I've been charging my phone for a little while, and it's now 4 or 6 p.m. and the battery's at 25%. And the iPhone was at 1% and it's now at 2%. So it's not the fastest charging in the world, nor the most efficient charging, but it will kind of save you or a friend in a moment of, oh no, this device is about to die, let me plug it in. More exciting than that I want to talk about right now is all of the performance upgrades, specifically with gaming and how it renders out colors, but also just like latency speed. And we're going to turn it over to Zach, who is kind of our resident gamer, to discuss it. All right, so this is the phone. The graphics are pretty good. This is the most popular game on the App Store right now. It's like a skiing game. And it only has a 60 Hz refresh rate display. So if we were playing the same game on the Pro, it would feel quicker, but the gameplay still looks really good. Okay, it is 5:18 p.m. The phone is at 6%. Night photos on this phone are definitely improved, and there's just some beautiful shots there. But I think that the 15 Pro still has the best in class in comparison, which brings us to the overall 3 takeaways for this video. The first one is that the $200 price difference between the Pro and this model leads to a worse experience in some pretty fundamental categories. So the display is 60 Hz versus 120 Hz, meaning that it feels less fluid and fast. You have the step-down processor of the A16 Bionic. It's still a great processor though. You have a worse build quality in terms of not having titanium rails, but I honestly really like the build of the 15, and it feels really lightweight, which I think a lot of users will really like. And then you also miss out on having the dedicated telephoto lens and a lot of the other data that you get with the 15 Pro's camera. So if you care a lot about camera quality, the 15 Pro or Pro Max is definitely the one to get out of this lineup. But for most people, I think this is a great camera setup, especially the video. The video is really impressive to me. And an area that this phone gets an equally as good experience to the Pro is in software on iOS 17. You can see I'm trying to call. I told him not to answer so I can show you guys this feature. So now there's an option here where I can hit record video and I can leave him a little video message. Hey Darsh, super excited to record the next episode of the podcast. And then just like that, I can now send him this video message, and it will send as a basically video voicemail, which is sick. I love a lot of the new features. They really come alive in daily life. And that brings us into this third point, which is that when you look at this iPhone 15 or an iPhone from a few years ago, and then you compare it to an Android counterpart, it's pretty unbelievable how much more software support and just overall lifetime value the iPhone has in comparison. And so that means that I feel like this phone is a really solid purchase to get if you're in need of an iPhone upgrade and you don't want the best in class things. If you want the best in class performance and the best in class camera, then the Pro is definitely the one to get. But this feels like a really good standard iPhone for Apple to have. And they did a lot of good things right. It's solid. If you want to see the Pro though and weigh your options, you can click right here or hang out with me in another video right here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in one of these videos. Hope you have an amazing day.